Oh, there's a clear all button. Let's see what the clear all button does. The AI put this together. I'm not entirely clear what all features are in there, but clear all images, yes. Oh, it crashed. Hey everybody. Hope y'all are having a good weekend and a good start of the summer. Hope everybody's staying cool or warm, depending on where you are in the world. I wanted to share a project that I'm working on with the help of Qwen3.6 and OpenCode. It's a program to build a collage out of a collection of images and make the workflow for getting it arranged more streamlined. What I used to do is I would take images and I would put them all into GIMP, and then I would crop out the parts that I want, and then I would resize everything, and then I would drag it around on the screen to try to get it the way I wanted. And doing it that way did give more flexibility, but doing it this way makes it a little bit faster. This is what it looks like, the collage that I put together, but I'm going to go and start it from scratch. And since this is a, whatchamacallit, oh, there's a clear all button. Let's see what the clear all button does. The AI put this together. I'm not entirely clear what all features are in there. I have been working through a bunch of bugs to make sure that the scrolls work and the panel editor works, and I guess I'll show you some of those things. But I'll show them to you with a fresh one. Let's click on clear all and see what happens. Clear all images, yes. Oh, it crashed. That's good to know. Well, let's just stop it. We'll open it again. We'll pretend like the clear all did something. That was the first time I ever looked at it and clicked it, so that was interesting. Probably have to write something up about that later. I opened up the project and I dragged a set of images into it, and it's supposed to have a saliency detector to make some of these things zoom in on the right part, but since I'm doing it with dogs and not people so much, I wonder if it's just getting confused about what to look at. But let's go ahead and get it arranged again the way we want it. I clicked on this first panel and the panel editor over here come up, and if I hover over the panel and I use 2 fingers, I can move the image and I can resize it. But if I wanted to, I could also do that over here in the panel editor. Right now those bounding boxes are really close together. Let's get it moved out there. It allows you to change the proportions in a way that the panel kind of makes it look funny right now. So that might be another change request that I want to write up. But if I go back over it and I zoom, it snaps back to the right proportions again. So it's a bug that I can live with for the moment. There's definitely bugs. Not gonna sell, not gonna lie to you. But yeah, let's get the rest of this set up the way we want. Let's get more of the puppy in there. And then this one with the 2 dogs, we'll zoom out. And there seems to be a limit to how far you can zoom out right now. I can't zoom further than that. I can change it over here on the right. But then if I go back and I zoom again, it zooms back to that side again. There's definitely still things that need to be done to make it work better. But let's get the puppy and all of these. Oh, and I put this one in the other spot last time. I think it puts them at random, but that's okay. I'm going to take this one, put it back at the top again. So if you click on it, you can drag it, and then it'll swap with the other one, so you can drag them around the way that you want them to go. And we'll get that like that. Oh, this actually was over there last time. That looks good enough. So I'm going to go and export it. I guess it says export JPEG, Command S for save. It did ask me if I wanted it to be S or E, and I told it the S. So let's save that. Think dogs, Bargaba. So this is the collage that I made of those pictures. There were some other options in there that we could do. We could change the title if we wanted. We could say that this doesn't want to be bold now, and that wants to be italic if we want. We can change the size, set whether there's background in it, move it from the left to the right. I haven't written much of the code for it. Instead, what I wanted to talk about was the approach to telling the agent to work on it. And I guess a good place to start would be the common prompts. Fold some of those up. Let's go into the common prompts here. And I've got change requests here that we've been putting in. And I guess the latest one is probably a good one to talk about, is a large change request. Big changes, go into plan mode, ask it if it can think through particular things. I'm going to make that 99. And 99 is about putting together new layout styles. Right now it's limited to rectangular styles of these particular types. And I want to give it more layout styles to work with. So that's what the next one's going to be about. This prompt would let us go into plan mode and talk to the LLM about how to approach something. It would let it do more research. It wouldn't just jump in and start making code changes first. And that's good if you want to flesh out an idea. A lot of times it'll go through an idea of yours and then it'll ask questions about it, and then you can provide answers, and then that'll help put together a better plan. Examples of plans are in the plans folder. You can see it puts together where it is right now, what the objective is, and then what it's going to do and what it's going to not do. And that's all. If you hit Shift Tab, it goes into plan mode, and then switching back to build mode, back and forth like that. We have plans, and this is how we build those. Review. We're talking about using macOS skills for guidance in a lot of these prompts. What that is about is in OpenCode and skills, there's a building macOS app skill, and it's got a whole lot of information because the skill is a combination of research done in addition to building features and making changes and making learnings about those, and then folding all of that information back in to refine the skill again. A lot of what we do is make use of this skill, see what didn't work, capture the learnings from that, and then use that to refine the skill and then plan out more work. And hopefully in that cadence, in that methodology, it leads to working code faster and a smarter agent that knows what you've done before and how to do the things that it's done before again. This is about code reviews, which is another one of the skills in here. The code review, I think this one was built looking at the Google Best Practices website. And I asked it to, or I guess I pulled all that documentation and I asked it to build a skill out of that. And then this is what I use to, every once in a while, instead of working on new features, I'll ask it to look at what we've done so far and make sure that we haven't made any really bad architectural decisions yet, or if we did, to address those as we go. What other common prompts do we have? Implement. If you've put together a plan, you should be able to just turn around and tell it to implement that. And I always tell it to use those macOS skills again, because that way I know for sure it's going to load them up. Small change requests. These are whenever you want to work on something, but it doesn't necessarily require a whole plan. Kind of like these dot ones, where it's just we worked on something, but the context grew too big, so we stopped, we wrote out a session, we captured learnings, we wrote up some bugs, and then we implemented fixes for those in the next session, captured the learnings. This process, I guess, is also a good way to manage context, keeping everything at a good size. So we had the review in plan mode. Then we've got another code review. I guess there's implementing from review and then doing the review. So this is asking it to look at everything and see if it still meets good solid practices and good macOS guidance. Human interface guidelines review. This is to make sure that and actually I think that we do have a bug here now that I think about it. The human interface guidelines is a website from Apple that has all the best practices and layouts to use for these. And I know this one folds out correctly, but this one doesn't actually fold out. It just hides the content. I've got a bug there to write up that I don't think is captured in a change request yet. Documenting sessions. This is how we get sessions written about what we do each time through. This is a good way to keep track of the history. If anything gets repeated, this is a good way to see if that's happening. And then that helps to point to learnings that need to be made and more skill adjustments to make sure that we don't keep repeating the same mistakes over and over again. It's also good historically to know where we've come from with it. And then the overall is an index of all of them. I think at first we were writing everything to one giant project timeline file. I think this is that original. Oh no, okay. Oh, maybe this is the original. Oh well, I can't remember now. I think this is the latest one. This is the one that we keep updating with an index of the sessions instead of the overall of the sessions. Skill building, researching. This is the website. So if I go to this website, it talks about how the Mac program should be written, I guess, how they should look. And I didn't actually read any of these to build any of the skills either. If I close that down, I go back and look here, there's a Playwright Apple Docs skill. So what this does is it pairs Playwright-CLI with the Apple website and says, here's an objective of what to go learn about. Go use Playwright-CLI to navigate the website, find the elements that you need to research, and then write out research documents about it. This way, it was kind of a jump start. I could say, here's the initial plan for what I want for Collage Maker, and here's the Apple documentation websites. Go gather whatever you don't think you know or whatever you're uncertain about. Go ahead and gather all that and do an initial research project for it. We did that, and we actually did it a couple of different times as we started adding more features. It was like, okay, what other pages do we need to go back and research? This is what I went out and got from the Apple websites and put together, and we could use this to turn around and apply research to skills. Or we could apply learnings to skills, or we could gather learnings from sessions based on the bugs that we had to fix along the way. What else? Skill housekeeping. Oh yeah, so the skills best practice, there's a skill in there that looks at the other skills and says, is this skill following best practice guidance? And those are based on a skill building exercise that we did from the Anthropic website, I believe. Came from copying this page down and saying, build me a good skills process out of this, and then apply it to my other skills. We covered the timeline, we covered all the common prompts. We haven't really talked a lot about the code. There are UI tests and there are more tests, and I know that we need more tests. I think the next thing that we're going to work on here, whenever we tackle those styles, I think at the bottom here it's got a summary. We've got a lot more tests to write as we work on that stuff. And I think that there might still be a memory bug in there as well. I noticed, so right now it says it's using 554 megs of RAM. That feels like a lot. And I think it's because, oh, did these rearrange themselves whenever I wasn't looking? Is this a different copy of the Collage Maker running? What's going on? I feel like I had all those arranged to the faces that I wanted already. Maybe I closed it and opened it again? I can't remember. Maybe every time they reset themselves. That's an interesting bug. I'll have to go back and look at that too. But that's what I wanted to share. And if y'all are interested in seeing how this project's going, it's going to be posted here to Austin 183 Agent Olama projects under experiments. And I'll probably keep on working on it, so you may see more updates to it as I go. And thanks, y'all. I hope you have a good one. Talk to you later on.